I'm Chung Win with Notebooks.com here in San Francisco with HP, taking a look at their new mobile workstation. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Absolutely. So what we have here is our brand new mobile workstation series. Our complete lineup is on display here today. Our new mobile workstations are 14-inch, 15-inch, and 17-inch mobile workstation products. So what you're seeing here is our brand new grounds-up design on all three of these platforms, which we're calling Forge. And basically what we've done here is taken these mobile workstation products and redesigned them all from the ground up versus our previous generation. Starting with the signature gunmetal gray color that's specific to our workstation products, all the way to the all-metal construction, which gives it the durability and the good looks, all the metal finishes, metal accents, and also enhanced ease-of-use features that we've incorporated into the platforms as well.
Okay. This is the 15-inch, right?
Yeah, this is our 8560W, which is our 15-inch mobile workstation. And some of the new design elements that you're going to see with this brand new industrial design, starting on the rear of the machine, you have a nice radial spun finish on the back of the system. Also the backlit HP logo. And then this hinge cover that we have is one single piece of cold forged aluminum, which is CNC'd out to cover the hinges on their back and also make it look good as well. So when the system is open and you're viewing it from the rear, it has a very striking visual appearance with the combination of these three elements.
It looks very industrial and rugged from the back with this metal piece right here. And
also we just wanted to add some metal highlights as well. And then also we've got aluminum screw heads in here as well, just to kind of give it that appearance of that kind of that high-end look, that very industrial look like you mentioned. When we get into the inside of the system, we've actually done a lot of cleanup work in here as well. So we removed our capacitive strip, our touch-sensitive buttons, which really was a row or a series of LEDs that each had their own control or their own function that the user would activate by touching. Most of the times the user accidentally fired off some of those or contacted some of the LED buttons and triggered some events that they weren't intending to while they were typing, or their hands brushed against that. So we've actually removed those controls and went back to standard mechanical buttons with backlighting. So this way, when a user wants to turn off their wireless, they'll push the button, they'll get that feedback, the audible feedback of the click. They'll feel the button fire, and then also the LED will change color, so something happened and something changed on the system. We've also redesigned our entire keyboard this year, so you've got more of the chiseled look on the keys. That's new for this year. Again, gunmetal color to match the system. It's going to be a very comfortable touch typing experience. We've rounded the keycaps so there are no sharp corners or edges, and we've also added a little bit of a dish to the keys as well, so it makes it a lot easier for touch typists to kind of feel the edges of the keys and not have a flat keycap shape.
And there's option for, I guess, people use the traditional track point versus the trackpad as well on all your machines.
That's correct. All these workstation products ship with dual pointing devices, so you do get the point stick option as well as the touchpad as well in one system. So there's no, you don't have to worry about picking and choosing a system. It all comes standard with both of these devices. The touchpad itself has been completely redesigned as well. It's basically double the size of our previous touchpad on our previous generation of products. So it makes it very easy to get across. The widescreen display is a lot faster. There's more real estate there for the user to track back and forth. And it also has enhanced support for gestures. So doing the pinch and the zoom and all the other gesture functions are a lot easier on the larger surface. It's made out of a chemically strengthened glass. So it's kind of like a smartphone screen material that we're using. So it's very durable. You're not going to wear through and make a shiny spot on the touchpad. And it's also very smooth and makes it very easy to navigate and track across the screen on. And we've also added an on-off button function where you double tap. You're going to edit that out, right? You double tap. The LED didn't come on. These are pre-production, so we'll just skip that. But you can actually double tap the corner, and that will actually turn the touchpad on or off. And you can see it here on this one here how the LED will come on, and it'll let you know that it's turned off. And by double tapping again, the LED went away, so the touchpad is active again.
So that way you don't accidentally swipe the touchpad or move the cursor.
Absolutely. We find that people who like using the point stick and do not like the touchpad, they do not want that to be active at all.
Right.
So it gives them a way of turning it off completely so that they're not having accidental cursor movement when their palm's hitting it.
Can you run through some of the ports on this device?
Sure. Some of the standard ports that you're going to find on the mobile workstations, USB ports, obviously, they're going to come on the system. We've got 2 USB 3 ports that are backwards compatible with USB 2.0 as well. They're all over, placed in different sections of the system. We've got 2 here, and then a couple on the other side of the system, just so it makes it easier to plug in devices all around the system. We've got FireWire again this year. We're going to continue to offer that. DisplayPort, and then eSATA. When you get around to the front of the system, we've got support for the SD card, so SD and SDXC support on the front of the system. And then obviously the microphone and headphone jacks, VGA, modem, and the gigabit NIC. So pretty much all the standard ports that you would find on higher end mobile workstation products or most higher end notebook products. We're just giving users a lot more relative to some of the other form factors in our lineup.
Can you talk about the degree of design that we went with the ports?
Sure. So one of the other elements of our new industrial design is the sides of the machine that we've actually taken into account. We've cleaned up the sides compared to our previous generation, where it's very precision aligned on one horizontal plane, so that there's no cutaways, bump outs, steps, or anything like that on the side of the system. So it's a very sleek look all the way around the system. And we've actually taken the extra step of taking all the ports and putting a trim ring around the inside of the ports, so it just gives it that nice finished appearance relative to some of the other products out there, where you can actually see some of the connectors where they attach to the board. So just another high-end detail that you're going to find on our highest-end products. And then finally, on the bottom of the system, we've actually treated this as well. Obviously, these are internal stickers that won't be there when we ship, but this will all be super clean, very sleek on the bottom as well. So we've eliminated all the doors that we typically have on the bottom of the machine, and that also eliminates a lot of the screw heads that are visible on the bottom of the machine as well. And we've actually integrated that all into one large service door. So to get to the components, that comes off in one, with one smooth action there with the release, and you can get to all the components on the bottom side of the mobile workstation product. And it's a very quick and easy way to service or upgrade the machine. It just goes back on the same way it came off.
It's a nice way to get to your RAM and hard drive or SSD if you want to change
Absolutely.
it.
Very quick and easy to get there.
Talk about the mini lights that are on the front.
Sure. One other area that we've improved, again, when we removed the capacitive strip, those were pretty bright LEDs. We also had very bright LEDs on the front of the machine as well, and very large LEDs. So what we've done is actually dramatically reduce the size of the LEDs on the mobile workstation, to the point where if they weren't lit, you wouldn't know they were there. So they're very small laser milled holes in the front of the system, and they're not very distracting or obtrusive. They're very subtle, so you can tell when your hard drive is active, when the system's powered on, when the battery's charging, things like that. So just stepping through the line, just to kind of go through some of the highlights of the products. Like I said, we've got 3 products in the family. 14-inch, which is our 8460 product. It's our thinnest and lightest mobile workstation, starting at under 5 pounds. It's a great entry-level mobile workstation product. Great for traveling. Our engineers take this overseas all the time, since it's got all the workstation power and certifications for running professional applications on board as the professional graphics. And the form factor is very easy to travel with. You can still open this in a coach seat and work on your design software, your photo editing software, and still get very good battery life out of this as well. The machine gets roughly about 7 hours of battery life. We're still coming up with the final numbers, but we're optimistic that it's going to be up in that range. So again, it's a great travel companion to take with you on the road when you have to do some mobile design work. When you move into our 15-inch mobile workstation product, our 8560W, This is our most versatile mobile workstation and our most popular mobile workstation form factor because you get a lot of power and a lot of configurability in a relatively small form factor that is still pretty easy to travel with. It's about 6.5 pounds starting weight, and this is where users can really start getting into configuring the mobile workstation to meet their needs based on the software that they run, their workflows, any of the projects that they're doing. They can configure all the second generation Intel Core processors on this, with the exception of the Extreme Edition processor. There's 3 GPU choices on this as well. So there are 2 Quadro GPUs and 1 AMD professional GPU that the users can choose from. So again, when it comes to the graphics on this system, they can configure a GPU to meet their brand preference, their budget, or they can match it to their level of performance to the applications that they're running all the time.
Do all 3 systems offer the same 3 GPU options, or is that reserved for the larger systems?
That you'll only see that when you start getting into the bigger systems. So the 8460 only has 1 GPU option. So you have that one AMD Fire Pro card. That's the standard, the only offering there.
That's in addition to the integrated Intel HD 3000, is that on the standard bridge?
So that comes on the CPU, but we don't enable that. So we're using discrete graphics only for the 3D design work these are designed for. The 15-inch also, you have some different display choices as well. Not only do you have the standard HD Plus and Full HD panels, you also have our Dream Color display option, which is our IPS-based color critical display. So it's an RGB backlit display that's capable of displaying 1 billion colors. It's great for designers, photo editors, video editors who want very accurate color on their screen so that it looks the same on their screen as what their output is, whether it's print or film or some other medium. It also has a backlit keyboard option, so for developers and content creators who are working in dimly lit environments or on a plane, the backlit keyboard option is a very good option for them, so they can see the keys without having to turn the overhead light on or disrupt their environment they're used to working in.
And then the 15 and the 17-inch have the number pad on the side?
They do. And that's one thing that when we moved to the wider screen, high-definition displays, we were actually able to fit in the numeric keypad. So you'll see that on our 17-inch and our 15-inch models.
Not so much.
So if you want to go over and take a look at the 17-inch.
Sure.
Right.
This is our most powerful mobile workstation. This is our 8760W. This has been part of our lineup for quite some time now, and this is where you see users who have very high performance compute needs move to this form factor. It's a little heavier than the other guys, but it's still the lightest 17-inch mobile workstation in the market.
How heavy is it?
It's starting at about 7.8 pounds, which is not bad for the amount of power that's in this chassis. So you're running Intel's highest end quad-core processors. This will support the Extreme Edition processor. This will support the highest end NVIDIA professional GPUs, their Quadro GPUs, as well as some pretty high-end AMD GPUs as well. This actually has 4 graphics options, so we've got 3 Quadro options and 1 AMD Fire Pro option. So again, very configurable on the graphics side. So you can match the graphics card to your workflow, your application, your budget, or your performance needs. The full range of Intel processors, so if you need the highest end, it's available. Or you can do a dual core or a quad core mid-range processors. With the redesign, we're actually also able to get in 2 hard drives. So on the inside of this, you can have 2 internal hard drives. You can take out the optical drive bay and put a 3rd hard drive in there if you needed to. So you can do up to 3 terabytes worth of data in this system that you can take with you.
What's the battery life like on a 17-inch powerful machine like this?
So with all the power, the high-end graphics cards, all the memory support, this will support the 32 gigabytes of memory, as well as the 15-inch. This guy will only support up to 16 because of the form factor. But with all the power and components that you can put in this, you're probably looking in the 4-hour range. And then you're probably in the 5 to 6 hour range on the 15-inch mobile workstation as well.
like what's the price range like between a basic model and like a fully spec'd 17-inch?
So the final pricing is being worked out right now, but some of the estimates that we have are $12.99 for the 14-inch mobile workstation, about $13.49 for our 15-inch mobile workstation, and right around $18.99, somewhere in that range for the 17-inch mobile workstation. All U.S. pricing, and that's subject to change once we get out to the final product launch.
Between the 14-inch and the 17-inch, can you talk a little bit about the differences in the design and the ports and some of the features?
So there's just a few slight differences in the design of the 14-inch versus the 15 and the 17-inch. The hinge is just a little bit different because due to the design, we weren't able to get the large hinge treatment that we have on the 15 and 17-inch mobile workstations. So we went with an extruded piece of aluminum material for the hinge cover there, which is still a nice accent and still a nice piece of cold forged extruded aluminum. And then also we couldn't fit this hinge detailing because of the battery that protrudes from the back. So there are two battery options that you can get on the 14-inch mobile workstation. A 6-cell battery, and then this is the 9-cell pack. Unfortunately, the 9-cell battery extends out from the form factor a little bit, which prevented us from doing this type of design on the system. From a port perspective, I believe there's 2 less USB ports on the 14-inch, and other than that, it has the same USB 3, USB 2 technology, DisplayPort, FireWire, eSATA, and also the SD card slot as well.
And there's no optical drive on the 14? Or?
Actually, all these come standard with optical drives. There are options for weight savers where you can remove the optical drive if you want to remove, take out a little bit of weight from the form factor, make it a little easier to travel with. Or you can also take the optical drive out and put a second hard drive in all of these. Actually, it would be the third hard drive in the 17-inch, but a hard drive will fit in that bay as well.
Okay, cool. Thickness, what are we looking at for the models? Do you have a rough estimate?
I don't have estimates with me, unfortunately.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you.
Thank you.